Yeah, I think pretty much everything that Morgan has tried has worked today.
Yeah.
It's been one of those days for Owen Morgan as a captain, and he's had plenty of it. As that one is guided away down to third man. There's a chase on for the fielder, who does come and collect it. They'll get back for a couple of runs, so Chahar is off the mark, and the score goes up to 129.
Just a tweet or two. The Bear should be banned from commentating on IPL games. He ruins them, says Josie Oak. And of course, I said, I don't mind this at all. Farong says it appears that Dre Russ is his new line, judging from KKR's first match, bowler foot outside off stump.
He is bowling very wide, as this one is guided away by Chahar through the offside this time. Cummins comes off the deep point boundary, and they get one. End of the over, 130 for 7, the score.
I missed the punchline off Farong's tweet there. He says, it appears that Dre Russell is new line, judging from KKR's first match, bowler foot outside off stump from around the wicket. How will that work against left-handers? You come back over, I suppose.
He did. He was bowling over to the right-hander, to the left-hander.
Yeah.
But to the right-hander, he was bowling as far wide as he could around the wicket. And so the angle was terrific. And it's quite a smart move, I suppose.
Well, there's been a lot of that in one-day cricket. I mean, India were doing it in the one-days, especially, I think, against England, just to cut off the big shots, I think, trying to get it Yorker length wide outside the off stump. So, the chances are that you're going to toe end the ball if you're reaching for it. Warren says, I missed Jansen's Tash, which is very sad. Leah, how we turned a promising start into an absolute shit show by the Mumbai Indians batting lineup.
It's Krishna to bowl his last over. This has been turned away off his legs by Chahar. They're certainly going to get 2. He's going to be cut off by Cummins, and Chahar goes to 5. So they're now looking to scramble just to get to 150 Mumbai Indians.
We were talking about 170, 175.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's been fantastic from KKR. And sometimes I suppose you just have those days when all your big players, it just doesn't really come off for.
Well, as Messers was saying, it's 4 for 18 in the last 3.1 overs for the Indians. As this one is played away into the offside, and they'll get 1 to take the score to 133 with 10 balls left of the innings. And although they started with spin,
pretty much everything that Morgan's tried has worked today.
Cummins it's been one of those days. Shakib bowled well, and Cummins and Russell have done the majority of the damage. That one is only guided one over.
But it's perhaps they denied them pace when they're looking to go over the top early on, and I think that was the plan. I think it was 5 out of 6 overs were bowled by spinners. I think they didn't bring Cummins in for the 6th over.
Yes, it might have snuck one in.
Just a tweet or two. The Bear should be banned from commentating on IPL games. He ruins them, says Josie Oak. And of course, I said, I don't mind this at all. Farong says it appears that Dre Russ is his new line, judging from KKR's first match, bowler foot outside off stump.
Sometimes you can be pushing it too. This one's down the very side. As this one is guided away by Chahar through the offside. It's going to beat Harvey down to the fine leg boundary for 4. Point boundary. And I'll await they get 1. End of the over, the 137 the score. It's certainly a boundary.
I missed the punchline off Farong's tweet there. He says, it appears that Dre Russell is new line, judging from KKR's first match, bowler foot outside off stump from around the wicket. How will that work agast left-handers?
And it wasn't you
come back over, I suppose.
He did. He was bowling over to the right-hander, to the left-hander. But to the right-hander, he was bowling as far wide as he could.
2 caps around the wicket.
And so the angle was terrific. And he's been his most expensive.
From Dre Russ, and the first ball has been pulled away, and that is going to crash into the boundary boards from Krunal. So boundary to start the last over. That was a hack from Krunal.
It was a real smear, wasn't it?
This ball is going. I think we'll see. Well, he might as well have a go. It is the last over of the innings as Dre Russ lumbers in. This is going to be another boundary, so they have got up to 150 within 2 balls of this last over starting. Successive boundaries for Krunal Pandya.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
And if the first one was a hack, that was very much in the lucky section as it came off the edge of his bat there. Russell again comes into bowl 2. This one is short, pulled away, and he is caught. Short fine leg does the business. So 2 boundaries and a wicket. And Russell has snuck in 3 for 13. So if you play the fantasy game, you've got Andre Russell. You've laughing with this end.
Oh, you're kidding.
You've got to say that was really clever bowling. It was the slower, shorter one. And he was almost through the shot, and he just couldn't restrain himself from carrying on, and gave a simple catch. I think it's to Prasid Krishna again.
He was almost through the shot so early that he could have played it twice.
Yeah. Might have got it on the second time around. He might have got it.
Yeah, it was that good a slow ball from Russell's. So Krunal made 15. It's 150 for 8. Bumrah's coming out.
Yeah, now, I'm not sure about this. I think Trent Bolt's a better hitter for the last 3 balls than Jasprit Bumrah. Trent Bolt has got a number of useful little cameos in Test cricket at the bottom. I'd like to see him above Bumrah. Anyway, not going to get it.
I think Trent Bolt will probably agree with you on that assessment as Bumrah swings his first delivery from Russell away. Come on, pictures.
And he's caught. I can tell you, he's caught.
He's got another wicket. He's got another wicket.
Russell's on a hat-trick, for God's sake.
Russell's got 4 for 13. This is unbelievable, this is.
He's bowled 10 balls, which is more than his normal allowance.
So Hendo's going to get his wish that Trent Bolt is going to bat, but they've rather wasted a delivery, I feel, there. Bumrah just went for a big heave on the leg side and was caught on the run. I'm not quite sure who that fielder was, actually. Well, I'll wait for it to appear.
It was Shakib El Hassan. Shakib El Hassan was the man.
Shakib, the fielder, 150 for 9. And, they're going to be well short here, aren't they?
Yeah. Jeez.
Anyway,
I'll come back to it after this ball.
Because it is a hat-trick ball as well.
Oh!
It's heaved away. It's just fallen short. And in fact, Shakib, I think, got a bit overexcited with trying to take the catch because he's actually run past the ball. But Bolt went for the big shot, very similar to the one that Bumrah played. And if the first one was a hat, Russell is denied the hat-trick, but he wasn't far away from it as it came off the
I'm not
the
sure
edge
that
of his
justifies Hendo's claim that he's a better number 10.
Well,
possibly not.
Both number 11s
went short, pulled away, and he's final ball of the innings. Bolt swings this one away, and Russell has 5. Russell has snuck in 3 for 13. That's to be one of the best and worst 5 wicket balls I've seen in IPL. With this
You've got to say that was really clever bowling. It was the slower, short one. And he was almost through the shot, and he just couldn't restrain himself from carrying on. And gave a simple catch. I think it's to
and the Mumbai Indians are all out off the last ball. Wow, what a finish to the innings. He was almost through the shot so early.
If you'd asked me to nominate death bowlers, Russell would not have been high up on my list, I've got to tell you.
Was that good a slow ball from Russell's?
No, absolutely. I mean, he's kind of got lucky a little bit there, hasn't he, really? I mean, when they've just ultimately just got to swing, and you've got the batsmen that are not really very good at that. And so he's really feasted on the work that other bowlers have done for him. I would
useful
say.
little cameos in Test
So
cricket.
I think you're right that they go down as his wickets.
They do indeed. I mean, someone looking at this match in, I don't know, 3 years' time or maybe in 1 week's time will say, how on earth did Russell bowl so well? Oh, he's getting applauded off. He's going off. He's leading them off, would you believe?
And he's caught.
You've got to enjoy it while you can, haven't you? I mean, he may not have many more years left, so he's got to enjoy moments like this.
For God's sake.
Russell's got 4 for 13. Are we fairly agreed that is a below par total for the Mobanians of 152?
I think it is, but I would say you're quite right. They've got a very good bowling attack. That said, I think Owen Morgan's captaincy has spurred Kolkata on in terms of being more aggressive at the top of their innings. I suppose if they get a couple of early wickets, they'll feel more confident. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised in one way to see KKR go after this quite quickly.
Well short here, aren't they? Well, apart from Rohit, who made 43, and Surakumo made 56, and next highest score was 15.
apparently, so Dan does a lot of modelling of players' age progressions, basically. Apparently, what he has done at the age he is, and the speed he can bowl at, and the fact that he's left arm, mean that he tracks quite nicely into being a IPL quality player. And I think we saw for the first game that they're probably not wrong, the Mumbai Indians, and neither is Dan.
So he's a kind of Moneyball pick. Marco Jansen is in, driven nicely by Shubman Gill. Just can't beat the man at mid-off who's in the circle. He gets across and he'll get a single. I guess that's the only way you can describe that then, really, isn't it?
I mean, within the broad tent of the phrase Moneyball, or yes, I think he is.
Well, I mean by Moneyball was basically stats picked, because I wouldn't say that South African domestic cricket is the strongest cricket in the world.
Yeah,
and therefore having good figures at home.
I think when Moneyball's successful, it's not necessarily stats picked. It's when you're able to see value in players that other people have been unable to see. So, if from that respect, I think that's something they've definitely been able to do. If you look at the price some people were paying for overseas quicks at this auction and what they've spent on Marco Jansen.
Well, yeah, it's true. Pulled, but totally mistimed by Rana. Under edge into the ground. Jansen goes and fills off his own bowling. There's no run. He's stick thin. Looks like the kind of guy. Is he young? I take it he's pretty young.
He's 20. So he's young and a bit.
Young and a bit. And
he did bowl well in the first game. He was actually trusted with the last over of that game, which they did end up losing. But he did bowl well.
Well, I guess Quinton would probably know a bit about him, wouldn't he? Some of the other guys, so they'll be able to give a bit of advice to Rohit about, who he's got.
I think it sort of demonstrates how much money and reach the IPL have as well, that they're able to franchises are able to scout effectively in South African domestic cricket.
Well, yeah, that's guided by Shubman Gill, but he can't beat the man at backward point, and there's no run. But effectively, anyone can enter. I mean, I could enter the IPL auction, couldn't I? I just wouldn't. No one would buy me, obviously. But
you could declare your eligibility.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
If you got clearance from the ECB. I
could become the oldest player on the IPL. No, forget it. Like because there were like 600 players, weren't there? In the auction this year, something stupid like that.
Yeah, but the teams register interest in them, so the actual auction, only 100 or 150 or so actually made it through to the mini auction. Because if nobody's interested, so like in the case of Srisanth or Steve Finn, for example, they don't invite them, or they don't have their name in the hat, as it were. To be pulled out.
So I register my interest, and they go fuck off, and then basically I don't make it through to the final bit. That's a shame. That's down a trap by Rana. Finally, he's got hold of one. Trent Bolt has been smashed. First ball of the over again has been smashed over cover. A really nice shot all the way. First 6 of the innings. A little shimmy down the track, gave himself some room outside leg stump to free his arms, and clouted it.
But he played very nicely in the first game where he got 80. Rana.
So my under wasn't probably wise. Did Shubman Gill get runs in that as well? This one he's driven, but at cover. Kishan is fielding there. He's thrown it back at the bowler's end, but we couldn't see what was going on there because they were focusing on Ishan, and there is no run. That was a lovely shot by Rana. A couple of steps down the track. Himself some room.
Shubman got 15 in the first game.
Okay. I should have really looked at what happened in the first game before I just randomly bet. No, well, that's not true, actually, because often the people having to hit from the go, there's often an early wicket. And Trent Bolt's a class bowler. He's gone for 10 in 2 balls, and that one has been hoiked into the leg side. Is that one of the men? No, there's no man out there. It's bounced into the deep. Of course, the bowler would have known, and the batsman would have known that. He didn't hit it particularly well, but with no one being out there, it's dribbled over into the line, and we'll get him another 4. Wow, he's really, really deep in his crease. His front foot is on the line, and his back foot is nearly touching the stumps. Rana faces up. Not the 4th ball of the over. tries to give himself some room again. Bolt maybe spotted him, bunked in a little short and a little wide, and he couldn't set himself for it. Got an under edge into the ground. Divrana up to mid-off. And no run.
I think we'll all encourage KKR supporters and KKR players and staff and so on, is that in the first match, Nitish Rana and Rahul Tripathi were the guys who got the runs.
Another short ball. Tries to up and over it to the keeper. Doesn't get anything on it. Goes through to Quinton de Kock. There's no run. That's probably one for the over. It's not going to be given as a wide. It's a dot ball.
Possibly in the last two IPL seasons, you could accuse them of being a little bit reliant on their overseas players doing all the hard work. I mean, I know Shubman Gill scored a lot of runs last year, but they weren't particularly quick, and not quick runs aren't particularly useful runs. But Nitish Rana and Rahul Tripathi were really exciting, really dynamic in that first match.
Slower ball. And he had to wait and wait and wait, did Rana. It was almost like a table tennis or topspin backhand as he pulled it out to deep square leg eventually. Trent Boult has a good laugh. He gets a single off the last ball. 11 off that. Third over the power play. They're going on just over 6 and over. So it's, maybe it's not the easiest pitch to score. And Mumbai only went on about 7 and over for the entire power play, didn't they, by the end of it? Maybe even slightly less. I think they're on 39 after the 6 overs. So maybe it isn't the easiest pitch to bat on, and it just happened to be that Surya Kumar made it look easy and was in the groove.
I've got a couple of tweets from Jay Grover. First one says, I've gone from somewhere unaware of Max Rushton's existence to getting paranoid he's narrating my life. At least he's not in Malahide.
Well, this is true, but I mean, the fact is that we have about 7 minutes, so it could be anything.
And he also says that he read an interview with Andre Russell in which he said he spent too much time lifting and missed a leg day, which caused a lot of his later problems.
He's got his fucking arms are tree trunks, man. I mean, they are enormous. As Rana faces up to Bumrah, who's into the attack, and he just defends that into the ground for no run. Let's give him a little jingle, and it goes a bit like this.
And now then, Marty Bumrah, oh, you're bowling again, aren't you? Oh, I thought as much.
And 16 or 14, no, it's not bad. Rana is facing up to Bumrah. He's coming around the wicket to him. It's into his thigh pad. It goes very fine off of that. There's no one down at long leg there. And he'll get himself probably... Was it
worth keeping him there, or else he'll have to go, and they probably can't bring him back because of all the travel restrictions.
Well, it's a broken hand, and you've got, 7 weeks of a tournament? I mean, the best it's going to be is 4 or 5 weeks, you'd have thought, depending on the bone. So it might be worth just cutting your losses and sending them home, isn't it? Bumrah is in. I'm sure in some respects he wouldn't mind. That's a beautifully timed shot by Shubman Gill. Just lent into that past the bowler, down to the long off boundary, pretty straight, and it's 4 runs.
It's me, says she. It's me, says she.
So that's 4 overs gone. 1 more over in this configuration, and then we'll be having a change. Jack will be taking over ball by ball. I'll be staying here, and we'll be joined by Messers. Any more tweets?
We've got one from Leah who says that I need Jasper to crush some toes and Trent to look like he has a side hustle with a dentist.
Well, it's not looking too... Well, they're not getting away at an extortionate rate, are they? I mean, they've got 28 or 4. It's only 7 and over. There's been some nice shots in there, but there's been a fair few dots. And we have a change in the bowling. It is going to be this man coming on to bowl.
If Kringle Pandya directed a Star Wars movie, would it be any good?
Well, who knows?
It's interesting because we discussed this at the end of the previous innings that KKR bowled 5 overs of spin in the power play, and this will be the first over of spin in the second innings.
Yes, and it all went quite well. Well, reasonably well anyway. Only got the 1 wicket. I guess with wickets in hand, that's the thing. Mumbai just screwed it up in the middle, and Joey Russ cleaned up at the end. Rana is going to face up, 21 up at 18. Fifth over starts. Pandya's around the wicket, it's down the leg side. It's going to be wide, and it's going to be a bye, two wides even. Poor keeping.
Garbage.
Yes, garbage on all fronts. Shit ball, shit keeping. I suppose you can't blame the batsman for anything. But, yeah, not good cricket all round. There's been some poor drops, as you said earlier.
Wide.
I watched. Who was it got dropped twice? Was it Prithvi Shaw on his way to 77, which was a fantastic innings, apart from the fact that he should have been out about 3 times. And 2 of them were pretty simple as well. But that'll do good for him. I mean, he had a bit of a shocker, didn't he, in the last edition? Everyone was bigging him up, and he really didn't do a lot. Shubman Gill just works that to mid-wicket. He's only entered a circle. They'll get through for an easy single.
He's had a bit of a hard time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Sure. He lost his place in the India side as well, but he went back to Indian domestic cricket and he scored thousands of runs in the Vijay Hazare Trophy.
Yes, well, he's clearly got a bit of talent. He just, I think, everything built him up. It's a classic example of that, wasn't it? It just dropped into the offside by Rana. They'll get through for a single. I mean, he just seemed to come out and wanted to crash everything in all forms of cricket, and pretty much got found out. He's clearly got the talent, but he just needs a bit of patience and a bit of a strategy when he gets out there. Maybe he'll find it this time around. Being dropped will probably be doing some good. Krunal Pandya around the wicket to Shubman Gill, who just defends that nicely back to him, and there's no run. He's only 8 off 8.